everyone, welcome back to another video. We're back here with Claire, about to continue on with the rest of the Crystal Tower quest line. So the next quest is called For Prosperity. Grahati is ready to assess the assembled Fellowship of Noah. Fellowship of Noah is being accounted for. It is time this assembly was called to order. Rambros will be presenting over the meeting. If you would be so kind as to inform him of your readiness to proceed. Why can't I ever... Jeez, there's just so many people here! Like, I keep trying to click on them, but I keep clicking on someone else. Just reading over that real quick. Welcome back, Claire. I've just been reading about your encounter in the Labyrinth of the Ancients. Pleased me greatly to know that you seem none the worse for wear for the experience. For your reference, I have added my own notes to Graha's preliminary expedition report and begun compiling a Crystal Tower survey log. The information contained therein will be available to you at all times. Should you have any questions, you need only ask. Now, if there are no more objections, I shall begin with a summary of the expedition's key accomplishments. Okay. Well, that was fast. In the course of this, our first foray into the grounds of the Crystal Tower, we succeeded in neutralizing the structure's outer defenses before proceeding to secure the maze surrounding the base of the spire. According to Claire's accounts, the labyrinth's defenses were most emphatically active. Disturbingly, her report also mentions a violent encounter with a sentry heavily augmented by Allegon technology. In short, our misgivings were well founded. The Crystal Tower was not simply thrust above ground by the chaotic shifting of Earth. It has somehow been reawoken. Yeah, that's not good. If, as seems increasingly likely, the tower's secrets should prove too dangerous to share with the world, we'll have no choice but to contain them. Short of leveling the place, this will almost certainly involve returning its mechanisms to a state of dormancy. To do that, however, we will first need to address the question of how they work, the answer to which must surely be waiting for us inside the tower itself. In conclusion, that is where we must go. Yeah, easier said than done. Because if the labyrinth was hard, imagine getting into the tower. A task rather easier said than done, if the perils of the labyrinth are any indication. Thank you! Someone agrees with me here. Yeah, because the Crystal Tower is even more dangerous. Then I move that all further exploration of the tower be delayed until such time as an exhaustive analysis of the structure's defenses has been completed. Master Garland, may I entrust this task to you? It would be my pleasure. Don't forget about us. Oh, we can't forget about you two, even if we tried. It's like you said, Chief. We founded the Iron Works to make sure that technology was used for the right reasons. And that means making sure it's not used for the wrong ones. We wouldn't be doing our jobs if we didn't see this through to the end. Yeah, and the idea of you guys just getting a tiny glimpse of Allegon technology is not at all on board with that, huh? But I love these guys. Lads, well, I hope you're ready for some back-breaking chores. Well, everything seems to be in hand here, so I shall take my leave of you for the present. If I'm to witness this valiant tale unfold with mine own eyes, I must needs hone my martial skills ere we ascend the spire. Yeah, not gonna happen, I'm afraid. You'll do nothing of the sort, Graha. Your knowledge may prove useful to Master Garland's investigation. He's so cute when he's pouting. As an observer, I am not, strictly speaking, subject to your authority. Pray do not mistake my intent, Claire. I am well aware that I shall never be a match for one with your innate talents, however hard I train. Be that as it may, pray do not allow your skills to rest from disuse during the common pause. I don't think you need to worry about that. We'll need you fighting fit if our subsequent forays are to prove as productive as this one. Mark me, we have not yet caught more than a briefest glimpse of which time obscured. Soon, however, we shall cast off the veil and gaze upon the glory of the Alagon Empire. Yeah, well, I don't see Alag as too great after half the things they've done. But hey, whatever you choose. So, otherwise, I think that this was actually supposed to be part of the ending quest for the Labyrinth of the Ancients. So, I think I cut the other video a little bit too suddenly, but oh well, whatever. And with that encouraging thought in mind, it is time to bring this assembly to a close. Let us all focus on the tasks at hand, that our next expedition may begin all the sooner. Meeting adjourned. Okay, so that was supposed to be part of the ending for the Labyrinth of the Ancients, so sorry about that. And hello! Such a terrible mess, yet it does leave the door wide open, so to speak. One cannot help but be impressed. I'm beginning to understand the reliance you place on adventurers, old friend. So, this is the legacy the Alagon Empire left behind. My readings are correct. The energy source waiting atop the tower is a match for even the ultimate weapon. Nay, more than a match. A new toy for me to play with. I believe the Fates have conspired to deny me my just rewards once again, but it would seem they had a greater destiny in mind for me. And so long as my ambition burns, I shall strive to seize it. The dream lives on, Sid. Do not disappoint me. I know that I shouldn't be glad to see him again, but I can't help it. He's great. I mean, he's a rotten human being as well for the most part, but at the same time, you can't help but like the guy. Okay, so that was supposed to have been put at the end of the Labyrinth of the Ancients. That's just fine. So let's just move on straight off to the Crystal Tower, which is called Cyrus Tower. Rambros is frustrated over Noah's lack of progress on the Crystal Tower. It's going to be so good to run through the tower again. It's been a while since I had to do that. Well, recently I had to do it again because of the resistance weapons, but we'll go on. Ah, 'tis you, my friend. You're doubtless eager to hear of our progress on the Crystal Tower. Excellent. I'd be disappointed to hear otherwise. Of course, disappointed is the word of the day, I fear. I'm ashamed to say that there is nothing worthwhile to report. The suns continue to probe the Labyrinth of the Ancients, and every day bring new discoveries. Alas, the same cannot be said of the Crystal Tower proper. We've not been able to set so much as a single foot inside it. You will recall how the 8 Centials stood between us and the labyrinth initially. Yes, I remember, and that was a pain to be able to get past of all that. But the tower's going to be a lot worse, huh? In like manner, the entryway into the principal spire, Cyrus Tower, the Alagons called it, is also protected by technology far more advanced than our own. Is that really such a surprise, though? I mean, they've That's exactly with the labyrinth as well, because they had far more advanced technology, and of course they want to keep people out. Sid and I have tried every trick we know, but without success. Frankly speaking, we are at a loss. And again, wouldn't it just be simpler just to keep the tower locked up? Like, just leave it as it is, don't bother it, don't risk opening the way? That's just me. It is discouraging, but we cannot give up. There must be a way in. Yeah, easy for you to say, Rambros. And so the situation stands, my friend. Until we gain entry into the tower, I fear your talents shan't avail us. It will require time that I am loath to waste, but I have a mind to set my people to scouring such ancient texts as we have on hand. Perhaps we could be of assistance? Oh, they're here. For all this time, they're here. And you are? I can't help but feel like they're looking at us. That's kind of creepy. Here they are. Be at ease, friends, for we share the selfsame goal. I remember seeing them for the first time and just how impressed I was with how they looked. I am Uni, and my companion is called Doga. We are scholars of the Allegan civilization, sent by the students of Baldessian to assist you in your endeavor. Uni and Doga. Rather unusual names for this day and age, if I might be forgiven for observing, but I digress. Really? I've heard stranger names. Like, these names are nothing compared to some of the strange things I've heard. You claim to be here at the students' behest, but we have received nary a word of your coming. Moreover, in light of the recent incident at the Isle of Al, I should think that they have rather more pressing concerns. We can only assume that the message failed to reach you due to some mishap. I assure you that we are here to help. What is a Graha? Ugh, 'tis nothing. There was a pain, but it subsided. Well, well, this is rather unexpected. Your right eye is the same as ours. Yeah, it's kind of creepy with those red eyes. The same? You have the Allegan eye as well? The sanguine hewn is said to be a trait unique to the Allegons, yet I inherited from my father, as he did from his. Only one child in a single generation is born with the eye. All my life I have sought to learn the truth of its manifestation. If there is aught you know, I implore you to tell me. My deepest apologies, but we have no answers for you. Only one thing is certain. Those who possess the traits are bound by fate to Alec. As your eye has placed you upon this path you walk, so too have we come here to fulfill our destiny. Absurd though it may sound, it is the truth. It seems to me that we have naught to lose by accepting their aid. What say you? If that is your wish, then so be it. Yet know that I still mean to verify your story with students of Baldessian when I am able. I trust there'll be no objections? Very well. At this moment, I name Uni and Doga adversary members of Noah. Without further ado, let us have them examine the Cyrus Tower entrance. I promise you'll not have cause to regret your decision. There, I would be much obliged if you were to accompany your new friends to the tower. Biggs and Wedge are presently surveying the 8 Centials. The 2 of them can show you the way. Upon arrival, pray report to Master Garland. He will brief you on the situation. I shall join you, Claire. With Uni and Doga's knowledge, along with your uncanny knack for setting events in motion, I'm hopeful that we will finally see progress. Alright, so let's just head on off. Though, I have to say this, like, they're very open-minded about allowing other people just randomly in. I mean, I know they say they're from the students of Baldessian, but really they should have just confirmed that first, like if they didn't want to risk like bringing somebody who has not any kind of good intentions for the tower. I mean, this is just kind of asking for trouble. Like, imagine if they really were bad guys who were just trying to get the knowledge inside the tower. Okay, that is very dangerous, just allowing them, like, onto the site. Because you think they would actually go through, like, every kind of possible way they can to avoid any kind of risk. But, hey, that's just me. We're examining the rebel in the hopes that it'll yield a clue to entering Cyrus Tower. Can you tell we're getting desperate? Yes, I can. Oh, if it isn't Claire, eager to enter Cyrus Tower and kill everything in sight, no doubt. As I'm sure you've already heard, though, the place is locked up tight as a clam. New friends from the students, you say? Excellent! It'll be slow going, or rather, no going for the chief. He'll appreciate the help. If you'll just follow me, I'll take you to him. Now that is a fancy door. I will say this, the Alagons definitely thought bigger was better. Look, he's so tiny compared to it. Ah, some old faces to lift the spirit, and a couple of new ones beside. Allow me to introduce Uni and Doga. They are scholars of ancient Alex, sent here by our friends of Baldessian to aid in the investigation. We understand you are having trouble circumventing the tower's defenses. 'Tis our hope that we can be of some small assistance. If your attire is aught to go by, your assistance should prove invaluable indeed. To begin with, let me tell you where we stand. Beyond rises Cyrus Tower, the principal spire of the structure collectively known as the Crystal Tower. The only way to get inside is through the proverbial front door, the imposing gate you see here. The problem is we can't get it to open. It's sealed by some sort of mechanism whose workings are an utter mystery to us. Having had no such success via more orthodox methods, I went at it with everything from a pickaxe to a Magitech cannon. Nothing so much as put a scratch on it. For a blessing, the gate doesn't try to reduce us to ashes like the 8 Centials, but that doesn't make it any less effectively a security measure. It's fiendishly frustrating in its simplicity. The only clue that we have is the elaborate device carved upon it, a man and a woman respectant. Alagon royalty, by my judgment. Precisely who these individuals were, we cannot say, nor do we know whether the device actually serves a purpose. Like as not, it is purely decorative. If you're thinking the Force said save your strength, it's no use. Just ask the calluses on my hands. Rest assured, we do not mean to waste our strength. Indeed. Why should we exert ourselves when the gate will open of its own accord? They made it look so easy. I I don't think any of us expected that to happen. Seven hells. What is this? What did you do? What are you? Piercing the heavens and gathering the light, a symbol of mankind's glory and might. Its virtue guarded by gates impregnable, only to those of royal blood answerable. Exactly as passed down through legend, I am delighted to see. Here he is. Beg pardons for interrupting your bewilderment. I couldn't help but notice the remarkable playthings you have acquired. Nero? You're still alive? Garland, Garland, if I didn't know better, I would say you weren't happy to see me. Ah, but I jest. In light of our recent meetings, you have every right to be wary. But rest assured, I am no longer a threat to you. My legion is, for all intents and purposes, defunct. And my association with it means a tight noose awaits me back in Garlemald, and so I've been roaming this land Eorzea, a regular itinerant. In the course of my wanderings, I chanced to catch wind of your latest venture. It sounded positively fascinating, and so I decided to come here and join you. After the wrongs you've committed, you think us that gullible? If you are suspicious of my intent, 'tis only my just deserts, but I am determined to make amends. As a gesture of goodwill, I will share with you what I know, starting with these two odd characters. As you are doubtless already aware, the Crystal Tower was a symbol of ancient Alag's might and prosperity. Entry was permitted only to royalty and a selected few individuals. According to the records I have unearthed, only royal blood can open the gate. In other words, the Emperor and his progeny were living keys. You mean to say that these two are descended from Alagan royalty? Oh, I suggest nothing so glamorous. To put it plain, they are imitations of royalty, living keys born of Alagan ingenuity. Clones, I believe, is the name your creators gave your kind. Is that not so? Yeah, I was so shocked when I heard the name clone in a fantasy game. 'Twould seem that the time for concealment is past. Pray accept our apologies. 'Twas not our intent to deceive. We simply wish to avoid causing undue alarm by prematurely making what many would consider deranged claims. If it please you, let us return to the Eight Centials. There is much and more to tell. Very well. I'm surprised they're not freaking out over the idea of clones. Seven hells, do you seriously mean to follow us around? Come, Garland, you know me better than to think that I spoke in jest. What more will it take for us to be reconciled? A gift, perhaps? An elegant tombstone. It holds the information I just shared with you, and a deal more besides. It used to be the jealously guarded property of the 14th Legion, but it's yours now. I wish you the joy of it. I look forward to working together, old friend. He's so suave, isn't he? I'm more surprised that they didn't go ahead and just turn him over to the Alliance or something by now. Oh well. Okay, we have a bunch of people here. Chief and Nero go all the way back to the Magitech Academy. It's an exclusive school situated in the capital, reserved for the Empire's brightest elite. I don't know the nitty-gritty details, but they didn't get along back then, and they don't get along now. Fate's a bastard for bringing them together again. Well, I think maybe Fate knows more than it lets on. To think the Allegans could make copies of people! If this knowledge were to fall into the wrong hands, the world would become a terrible place. I shudder to imagine a dozen Biggses shouting at me all day long. Let's hear what Uni and Dolga have to say. It will not be too late to decide upon a course of action afterwards. Yeah, you just left the gates wide open, by the way. Goes without saying that Nero can't be trusted. We do well to keep an eye on him at all times. Yeah, probably keep him away from the tower. I don't see him here, so... okay. You have every right to mistrust us. I beg you hear us out. Long have we waited for this opportunity to fulfill our life's purpose. Alright, let's see. If you're ready to listen, we shall tell you all. As it pertains closely to your investigation, your leader, Rambros, may wish to be present. Well, that was nice of them. Before we begin, pray allow me to apologize again. It was not our intent to deceive you. As you will have already gathered, we are not scholars sent by the students of Baldessian. Nay, we are clones, copies of people who once existed, given life through Allegan technology. This is rather a lot to take in. If it would not be considered unseemly, may I ask why you and yours were created, and more specifically, what it is you seek to do? Answering your questions requires that we visit Allegan history. Pray bear with us. The Allegan Empire reached its zenith long before our kind came into being. In that glorious age, the Crystal Tower stood tall as the symbol of Allegan pride. Parents took their children there that they might learn how the nigh limitless energy it produced brought prosperity to the whole empire. That prosperity, however, bred a decay, and the empire began to show signs of stagnation. This decline was made all the more rapid for want of strong leadership. In a matter of generations, the Allegan civilization became a pale shadow of its former self. Its once gleaming cities fell into disrepair, and its frontier lands were given over to the wilderness. Lamenting the pitiful state of affairs, one technologicalist made it his mission to restore Alla to greatness. Amon was his name, and he believed that the alien empire wanted for but a potent ruler, and none was more potent than its founding father, whom he sought to resurrect. The founding father? You cannot mean Emperor Zande. None other. As part of his experiments, Amon created clones of the Emperor's descendants. We are produce of that experiment, copies of Uni and Doga. Historical texts mention the reigns of two Allegan emperors named Zande. It was commonly believed that the second was the namesake of the first. After all, such a custom is not uncommon among royalty and commoners alike. To think that the two were in fact one and the same. Aye, Zande returned from the grave and assumed his throne once more, and true to Amon's prediction, the Emperor restored his realm to the glory it once knew. Would that he could have been satisfied with that. In his previous life, the Emperor desired to bring the entire world under Allegan dominion, an ambition that ultimately went unfulfilled. Having been granted a second chance, he was determined to succeed. Realizing that he needed more power to wage his war of conquest, Zande turned his sights towards a forbidden source, darkness. In order to learn how to harness this power, he converted the Crystal Tower into a restricted research facility. Oh, that's not good. Darkness again? 7. Hells, what is it with megalomaniacal rulers turning to darkness in their lust for power? At least this one won't be bothering us, being thousands of years old, dead and all. Would that you were right, Master Garland. Alas, Emperor Zonde is very much alive. Within Cyrus Tower he still abides, his ambition burning all the more ardently for his empire's collapse. Ah, so pretty. Wielding the power of darkness requires prodigious amounts of energy. Energy that not even the Crystal Tower could produce. In order to augment the shortfall, Dalimud was created and launched into the heavens. On high it hung, gathered the sun's energy, and channeling it to the Crystal Tower below. However, a miscalculation resulted in a surge of energy that escaped into the land. This triggered an earthquake of unprecedented violence, the calamity that ushered in the Fourth Umbral Era. In the blinking of an eye, the mighty Alagon Empire was laid to waste. Yet even as the Crystal Tower was sinking into the earth, the technologicalist Amon, now Emperor Zonde's closest aide, invoked powerful magics and halted the flow of time. Every soul within the structure, the Emperor included, was placed into a deep slumber. In that state, they were to remain until time was ripe to awaken. Eras came and went. After millennia laying dormant, Dalimud was summoned back to Earth. Its descent triggered the Seventh Umbral Calamity, in the wake of which the Crystal Tower re-emerged. At that moment, Emperor Zonde awakened. In his lust for power, the Emperor consorted with darkness and was seduced by its corrupting influence. Even though his empire is now little more than a fading memory, he will stop at nothing to see his ambition realized. Man, talk about being persistent. Just for no other purpose but to put an end to Zonde's madness that we exist. This is the mantle we have inherited from our namesakes, the true Uni and Doga. Fearing what might befall the world, the two of them sought to thwart their emperor. They gave unto us their will, that we might carry on their mission should they fail. When we came to our senses within the Crystal Tower, we deliberated a course of action. Concluding that we alone could not overcome Zonde, we struck out to find a worthy ally. It's taken years, but our search is finally over. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can cut a path through the labyrinth of the ancients. With you as our champion, Claire Fay, we are confident that we can end Zonde's dark ambition once and for all. Well, that'll teach me for speaking too soon, said my chagrin aside. I see now why you knew of the students about Decian, amongst a host of other things. You were observing our investigation the whole time. So what will we do, Claire? The world's in grave danger, again, and it just so happens you're an expert at saving it. And you can just see how all of them are smiling at her, like there's any other choice. You have our eternal gratitude. Together, let us see the Alagon Empire's dark past laid to rest. It's been our mission to recover the long-lost knowledge of the Alagon civilization, but what worth is that knowledge if it means subjecting the realm to peril? Truth be told, it pains me to think that the Tower's secrets may become lost to us, but the greater good must ever come first. Besides, no quantity of ancient relics can compare to our friends Uni and Doka, living, breathing Alagons. And so I hereby declare a change in Noah's objective. Henceforth we shall direct all efforts towards sealing off Cyrus Tower. Its dark secrets must never know the light of day. There, as you did for us within the Labyrinth of the Ancients, I would have you enter the structure and eliminate hostile elements. Suffice it to say, this includes Emperor Zonde himself. Meanwhile, the rest of us shall examine ways to isolate Cyrus Tower from the outside world. To work, then! I wonder what those two are talking about over there. Wait, there's something I must know. My right eye is like yours. Does this mean... You inherited the trait from your father, you said. Know that clones are unable to bear offspring. You have no cause for concern. The Allegan Eye, you called it, but to us it is the Royal Eye, owing to the fact that the trait manifests only in those possessed of royal blood. I cannot well explain why the eye runs in your line, but I am disinclined to think it a coincidence. Though you are doubtless impatient to learn the truth, pray have patience. All will be revealed in due time. Oh boy. That was a lot of information all at once. So basically, a 1,000-year-old emperor is plotting to destroy the world at the top of the tower. Fun! Within Cyrus Tower, you will encounter clones who share our appearance. Though they too were created in the image of Dolga and Uni, they are but empty husks bereft of independent will. Their sole purpose is to eliminate intruders. Striking down spitting images of Uni and myself may give you pause, but you must not let that stay in your hand. I like that he's realistic here. Though their names do not appear to have survived the passage of time, Dolga and Uni were worthy individuals. They were not without faults, but they placed the welfare of the people above all else. When Zande was resurrected, they supported his second ascension to the throne, in hopes the Empire would flourish once more under his leadership. When it came to light that Zande was consorting with dark powers, they did all within their power to stop him. Among their many acts, they imbued us, two humble clones, with their will. Okay, well, let's get ready then. Are you ready? My apologies if I've given you cause to worry. I'm quite well, I assure you. As you can appreciate, there is much for me to think on. But now is the time for action, not idle thoughts. Cyrus Tower awaits us. Your task is to eliminate all hostile elements within the structure, Zande himself included. This will afford us the chance to seal out the facility. May the crystal grant you strength. It is beautiful, there's no denying it. Cyrus Tower, now accessible. Well, this will be fun. Alright, so... we can actually just enter right through here. Too far away. Darn it. Why is it too far? Yeah, it is closer on the other side. Okay, so let's go straight into Cyrus Tower. This might be a little bit of a wait, so let's just go ahead and skip ahead to when we are able to actually go in. So I'll be right back. Okay, so that was a bit of a wait, but hey, it has been unlocked finally, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. And I'll also make sure that we are 100% done before we ended up putting an end to the video. So let's go straight in here and see what happens. Ugh, it takes so long to get in. Stupid loading screens, I hate them. There we go. Oh man, I remember this music. Oh, it's all coming back. It's all just coming back to me. Yeah, when this first came out, I did this whole raid like almost every day, like mostly for like the glamour, and oh, the nostalgia just sweeping back. So, for those of you who don't know or haven't played Final Fantasy III, there's a lot of references to that game like throughout this particular set of quest lines. So for this first part, we have like these dragons. And we even have Shinobi here, I forgot about that. Sorry about that. My controller died, I had to plug it back in. But yes, so we just have some dragons here. I'm guessing like they're just random clones or something just being kept here. Because I don't see any kind of neurolinks or anything. Oh well. But we just have to deal with just regular mobs for this one, and then the next one, and then the third level, I think that's when we fight the first boss. Up through this way. Oh no, it looks like we're going straight on to the first boss, that's right. So, we're making short progress. Okay, so this is the first boss. We have Scylla. So Scylla is a giant that has multiple wolf heads attached. Yeah, so this is definitely a boss like from Final Fantasy III. I love that they pay homage to like the older games, like with like these special quests. I just love they put little touches here and there. Okay, so for here we're just battling with the elements lightning, fire, and ice. So if you get touched by like one of those links of lightning, you just run to one of those structures where you see like the lightning coming down. That will absorb it. And they have the glowing staffs that are going to also be a pain once in a while. But the HP is going down real fast. I can't believe how fast these are going these days. Hopefully things will be a little bit more challenging once they fix that in Endwalker. They're supposed to be fixing that. Okay, so we have water here. So just try to avoid those little pools. And if you get linked up with like an ice shard, you just have to try to run away from it and see if you can avoid it. If not, that's okay. Other players are going to be linked with like those fire orbs. You can just use the fire to go ahead and melt your You can just use the fire to melt your companions out of the ice. Otherwise, it's pretty easy. Okay, been brought down. That was fast. So just grab the treasure. Almond boots. Why not? We'll just grab a pair. So let's just go up for the next level. A lot more crystal, as you can see here. So it looks like we got more clones of Acheron waiting for us. Like Graha mentioned him before. So these are all just clones. we got the green dragon. Wonder where that came from, by the way. Yep, here are the clones. So the clones are starting to make their first appearance. You can easily tell they're the clones, they're the ones in red. So like Dolga said outside, these aren't really people, they're just empty lumps of flesh that just serve as guard dogs. So don't feel bad about cutting them down. I think that's all of them. Yep. Okay, so the braid is no longer sealed. So we have the next boss waiting for us up on the next level. And my stupid stick keeps getting stuck. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. Okay, so I'm guessing this is like an ancient hero of Alag as well. And there's a whole series of mechanics that were with this guy, but I really don't think we need to worry too much about him. Just keep on fighting. Yeah, before you would have to go to like each of those platforms to be able to kill off like specific mobs, like specific ads that he would call in, as well as to avoid some of the bigger attacks. But because they're so easy to kill now, there's really no need to use these mechanics anymore. Yeah, there's the Clockwork Knights. Normally someone would have to stand inside that little puddle of electricity, and that would be able to... And that was what allowed the other players to be able to kill it, and then once you killed enough, that's when he would be able to start up his most powerful attack. We jump off to these other platforms to avoid it, kill the ads, and then come back once the big attack is over, and then just go on from there. But, as you can see, there's really no need. Okay, so the next layer is going to be filled with more mobs. Oh man, like, I think we're going to be getting through this in like 15 minutes or something. Like, it's almost sad how easy it's become. When this first came out, I swear, it took like an hour or so to be able to get through it. Like 45 minutes tops if we were lucky. Okay, so kill off these guys. And then there's the dragging above us. Yeah, just try to avoid getting knocked back by the fires. You know something, if the dragons just decided to, you know, remain airborne and just keep breathing fire down on us, they probably would have a better time trying to kill us rather than just land and give us the chance to swarm it at once. At least that's the way I see it. Oh boy, and we got the red carpet thrown out for us. So yes, we have Amon. He's another character from Final Fantasy III, and he's a very colorful dresser. I'll say that, and you'll see in a second. Oh boy, he was a giant too. So, Amon can be a little bit tricky even today, but so long as you know like the major mechanics, then you don't need to worry too much about him. He's going to kind of sprout His failed experiments around us every once in a while. Just make sure you kill them before they reach him. And every once in a while, he'll turn somebody into, like, a block of ice. Don't panic. That's part of the whole mechanics. Yep, there we go. A couple people have been turned to ice sculptures. Curtain call. So that's the major attack that's coming. So just all you need to do is stand behind like one of the boulders of ice. That's it. If you don't, you will wipe. Okay, and everyone breaks out. Easy as that. Oop, looks like we did have some people wiped out. That's fine. We got more than enough to take care of it. Oh, such a drama queen he is. Alright, so we'll take some of those as well. But here we go! So this is the final boss already. Map in the realm, Cyrus Tower. Alright, so let's head off. You can actually see him sitting there high and mighty up on his throne. You fight valiantly, mortals, but to no avail. Absolute darkness draws nigh. Soon it will be unleashed, and all shall return to nothingness. Oh man, you couldn't have waited just a few seconds for us. Darn it. That's fine. Bring me in. Okay, when you see these, all you need is for somebody to stand into each one of these little, I guess, puddles. Oop, not in that one. Darn it. Some damage. So if you miss one, then you just receive damage from it. Alright, so he's up on his throne again. So we just have to kill these starfall circles. Basically, he's just summoning meteors down on us, so if we don't take care of them, then we can get hit for a lot of damage. Alright. Next up, he's back. Okay, yeah, so standing on these little platform raises us up off the ground just a little bit. So you gotta stand on those when he brings down his major attack, otherwise if you're not standing on that, you'll be hit with an earthquake and die. As you can see what happened to certain members. It's okay, we're getting there. I think that's everyone. Damage is very small. Okay, we got some more circles here. Again, it's pretty easy, just make sure that they all die before the meteors fall. Though they do have a lot more than before. Okay, just make sure that you stand close to this guy when you get one of these orbs. That's going to give you like the anti-gravity platform. And just hang out on these to avoid the earthquake. AoEs usually appear underneath those, so just beware of that. But yeah, we got this! Life is a Cyrus. I don't know if that sun was supposed to appear there at that moment, but that was a nice effect. Cyrus Tower complete! Yay! We're done! Alright, so I'm just gonna see what else we have. Yeah, let's get one of those. Take that. Don't need that. Don't need that. And why not? Grab that. But we don't need that, so. Okay. Just give me a few seconds here just to see what loot we get. I really want the minion here. Yep, we got 2 of them. Not bad. And yeah, we can live without the gem. The gem is used to be able to craft your own throne, like that looks just like Xande's throne. Just a little FYI there. An empty throne. There it is. Claire! You did it! You defeated Emperor Xande! Empires may rise and fall, but man's indefatigable spirit ever lives on. Truly, you are the champion we have hoped for, Claire Faye. With Emperor Xande now at eternal rest, his dark legacy may be undone. Back in his armor, I see it, which looks pretty beat up. What are you playing at now, Nero? In case you haven't noticed, Garland, there are dangerous surrounds. Can a man be faulted for exercising due caution? At any rate, you needn't mind me. I'm perfectly capable of looking after myself. Go on and finish what you came here to do. There are 2 ways that we may seal off Cyrus Tower. Either isolate it from the outside world, or cripple its ability to produce energy. The choice of method is yours to make. Before you proceed, however, Doga and I must needs attend to a task. That distortion, what is it? The power that Xande sought to obtain from the void, the world of darkness, our people called it. And the true nature of that power was none other than the armies of Voidsend. Voidsent feed on ether, as you may already know, and no plane is richer in it than ours. In exchange for their allegiance, Xande entered into an unholy covenant. He would open a gate through which the Voidsent could freely enter our world. The covenant, I'm afraid to say, is still in effect. However, being of the Emperor's lineage, Uni and I believe we can annul it. By his blood, Xande sealed his dark pact. By our blood, it shall be undone. It is time. Yes, Doga. Finally, we may fulfill our purpose. Yeah, I'm not laughing. I hate laughing like that. Oh, be still, my beating heart! For a moment I feared that this outing would end in disappointments, but my readings were not mistaken. Not even the Ultima weapon compares to this. What are you going on about? The covenant is everlasting. Oh boy, here they come. I know we don't need to worry about these two clones, but the problem is there's so many of them. Oh man, that is just so inconvenient. The echo just seems to hit at the worst possible times.
And so Mericidia is brought into the fold. Soon all the world shall be united under Alagun rule. And yet, with every dream that becomes a reality, the memory of death grows ever more vivid, an endless void bereft of light and warmth. Though I may have defeated death, it did not leave me unscathed. Nay, its ravening claws have scarred my soul for eternity. Never shall I know peace. Beings without will, you cannot fathom my rage, my melancholy, my fear. What worth is wealth and power when all must inevitably be consigned to nothingness? If man has nothing, he need not know the pain of loss. So let there be nothing. Harvest more power, that the gate may be thrown full open. Let the cloud of darkness come and engulf the world, devouring all life, hopes, and dreams. Let all be returned to nothingness.
I mean, he sounds just like Kefka. I think he and Kefka probably would have gotten along. Claire, pull yourself together! Hey, it's not my fault. Is there no end to them? What in the seven hells is happening? Oh, not now, damn it! Yeah, it's not so much fun when it happens to you. I forgot that he uses like a really short sword like that. Like a magic tech sword. They just keep coming. Nero, were they part of your grand plan too? Save your jabs, Garland. I didn't put up with your arrogant face to play with worthless clones. Something controls them. A void sent with A void scent. No ordinary one at that. Doga! Confound it! Without them, there's no way to master the darkness! That power is mine! Oh, did he just throw his weapon away? Nero! Well, that all happened very quickly. Covenant shall be honored. I am the cloud of darkness. I shall devour your light and return this world to the void. Oh, now they all drop. Well, that all escalated very quickly. Damn it, the rift is gone. What are we supposed to do now? As much as it pains me to leave without them, there's precious little we can do. Let us return to the find and consult Rambros. Wow. I'm just remembering back when I first saw that cutscene, I just remember that my jaw dropped. It was like, what happened? That escalated to, like, tier 10. Like, on a scale of 1 to 10. Oh. Alright, let's hurry and get out of here, consult with Rambros. And I think that will be the end of it for right now. So in the next video is going to be the final round of this. It's going to be the final raid that we'll have to do for the Crystal Tower series. And then the one after that will be kind of wrapping up like the whole storyline for that. And then we'll probably just go right back to the main scenario. Alright, let's get going. All this happened within the tower? Gods preserve! The rift that manifested before the throne was a void gate. This I am certain. There exist myriad kinds of void scent. The more powerful the being, the larger the gate must be for it to pass through. It would seem that Zonde sought to open a gate of unprecedented proportions, one that would allow this cloud of darkness entry into our world. Fortunately for all mankind, he did not succeed. I shudder to imagine what this void sense is capable of. However dreadful it may be, we cannot abandon our friends. Is there no way to save them? I will not lie to you, Master Garland. The situation is bleak. The void scent can enter our world. Instances of men entering the void have never been documented. It pains me to give voice to my fears, but we do not even know whether our friend's still alive. Damn it, I feel so helpless! No, I refuse to give up. We must save Doga and Yuri. We share the same eye, 'tis true, but that is not what motivates me. Above all, I wish to help them fulfill their mission, a mission whose burden they have borne for thousands of years. And besides, we cannot leave matters as they are. So long as Zonde's Dark Covenant is binding, our world is in danger. 'Tis our duty to prevent the worst from coming to pass. Graha, ever since meeting Yuni and Doga, you have not been yourself. Tell me true. Is all well with your eye? I honestly cannot say. I know only that there is a memory I must recall. As a child, my father told me that the truth of our eye rests with Alok. The answer eludes me still. but one day I will find it. I am with Graha. However slim the odds, we must try to save Uni and Doga. Aye, and that bastard Nero as well, if only to make certain that he won't make any more mischief. You have the right of it. Though we have known them but briefly, Doga and Uni are our comrades. We cannot fail them. I shall consult experts in literature both. I swear to leave no stone unturned. Yet know that it will be a while before we are ready to act. I would ask that you all be patient. When dealing with the void, one cannot be cautious enough. My thanks again for your assistance. Pray rest now while you can. For when the time comes to go after our friends, you must be at no less than full strength. I'll save them yet, Claire. Mark my words. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be the final quest. I'll double check just to make sure. But yes, the next quest line is... Yep, the World of Darkness. Okay, so thank you all so much for watching. Once again, this is Fantasy Girl signing out.